Specialist James Marlow, and Robert Fox is still with us, defence editor at the Evening Standard. James, can I just start with you first of all, in terms of this, what we believe is an imminent ground invasion, how well equipped, how well prepared do you think Israeli soldiers are? We see hundreds of thousands of them now massing at the border. Are they ready for this?
Well, firstly, I can tell you that I was just in Israel. I just got back. I tried to get out there again Tuesday. The flight was delayed, then it was postponed, then it was cancelled. And although there are still some flights bringing back soldiers there, I also caught a briefing this morning by the IDF. As Charlie has just said, it was 700 targets hit overnight, perhaps the same. And they mentioned specifically, and this is going to partly answer your question, if I may, they mentioned that they were specifically going after, and I'm looking down to get their wording exactly correct, infrastructure inside the buildings. This is, of course, Hamas infrastructure, underground tunnels, command centres, military posts, homes of the terrorists and terror operatives. That's where the 750... Now, the bombing was mostly done in the north, within Gaza City, but in the north of Gaza City. The problem that the IDF have is that they have been monitoring this for several years. They have underground tunnels going everywhere, and specifically, they are trying to get these tunnels, but they are so well sophisticated, they're literally underground bunkers. And there is at least 2 tunnels going all the way from Gaza City to the south, to Han Yunis. Now, that's exactly where the fighters are going to be, and they are right now. In other words, the Hamas terrorists and their brothers, Islamic Jihad and the various other groups. The problem is that Israel wants to take out some of these tunnels because Hamas is saying, we're welcoming you, come in, whenever you're ready, come to us. They're leaving their civilians, their families, their friends on top. They're underneath because they're booby-trapping a number of the buildings. And as Israel went in a few years ago, unfortunately, they lost a number of soldiers.
And those hostages could be underground?
Well,
Very likely.
There was a report this morning, as you know, from Hamas to say that some of the hostages had been killed by the bombing. You cannot verify anything that Palestinian Hamas really say. The fact is that there's about 130 hostages, men, women and children and babies. We know for sure that they were definitely, because we saw women being taken away with babies. There's enough photographic evidence for this. By the way, they took it. It wasn't done by satellites or some of the cameras. And I just had to turn my phone over because in the last 10 or 15 minutes, I mean, I'm getting so many notifications. Firstly, my friend's daughter's boyfriend of 3 years, he's just, well, actually, he was buried about an hour ago. My other friend here in London, his son, who heard about this on Saturday morning, went down there as a security person and he was shot in the head. He's now lying in a coma. Right now in Israel, that they have a dedicated channel for all of those names. And I think the last I heard was 200, and I haven't got it written down here, many names of the soldiers, 200 and something soldiers, which have officially been named. We've got, of course, the hostages, which come from various different countries, not just
So just to pick up, that's 200 soldiers that have been injured already?
No, dead.